Hi, my name is Dr. Tressler, and today we're going to give you a little brief understanding of chiropractic and how that relates or helps asthma and allergies and respiratory problems. Today, their allergies and asthma are just skyrocketing, especially with children, and there's no need for it. When I grew up, I'm 43 years old, when I grew up, I don't ever recall knowing anyone with asthma. I recall people who had allergies, and I started to develop allergies in my teen years along with chronic like diverticulosis, diverticulitis. I was getting a lot of stomach and colon disorders, problems. And once I found out how to take care of myself and correct the problem, my body healed, and I've been fine ever since. And we see a lot of patients that come in with allergies and asthma problems that have no idea why they have them and how the spine relates. You know, how does chiropractic care help? You may have heard that somebody went to their chiropractor and their allergies cleared up. Somebody went to their chiropractor and they took their child and their child's asthma went away. How does that work? Well, asthma, the lungs are controlled and healed by the nerve system. Your nerve system runs everything. Your brain and spinal cord control your ability for your lungs to work properly, or your heart, or your stomach, or even your colon to digest properly. So your nerve system's in control of your healing in those organs. And how that relates to the spine is the nerve system sends its information through the spine in these nerves. So if these nerves are working properly 100%, there's no reason you should have allergies or asthma problems. But if the spine is out of position, we call it subluxation. If the spine is out of position, it blocks those nerves. It blocks that energy going to the lungs, and the lungs get sick. So what do we do when our lungs get sick? We usually don't go to a chiropractor. We go to our medical doctor, and he gives us an inhaler. Well, when I found this information out in chiropractic school, when I was just previously married, my wife and I went to chiropractic school. Her there to support me and me to get through school. So as she had asthma, and I didn't understand it. She kept calling it a disease, and I kept saying, you know, just breathe more, exercise more, work those lungs. She kept saying it was a disease because she was 6 and she was 3 years old, all the way up in her early 20s when we went to school. And she had taken theophylline. She took steroids several times a year. She took an inhaler sometimes daily or multiple times a day. And she was in the hospital once or twice a year, every single year since she was 3. I can't imagine that as a parent. I have 5 kids of my own. None of them have ever had an asthma attack or breathing problems or allergies like I suffered. And I thank God for that. And my wife had to live that life her whole life. So we get to school and we hear this concept that the lungs should function and heal properly if the spine is healthy, if these nerves are healthy, because the nerves supply the lungs. So if there's a subluxation or an interference there, then that could be blocking those nerve signals, shutting down the lungs and making them sick. So if they do specific chiropractic adjustments to realign that, then the pressure off the nerve, the lungs begin to get stronger and heal themselves. And I thought, wow, this is too easy of a concept. She had depended on medication her whole life. I had taken her to the hospital several times. I saw her, you know, suffer with these asthma attacks. And I thought, you know, this has to be investigated. We got to look into this. So she had a checkup, and how we check people, very simple. We check you by your posture. Your posture should be straight. A straight posture, balanced shoulders, indicates that the spine should be relatively straight. Not all the time, but at least that gives us a heads up. If you see a low shoulder or a rotation, or your head's tilting, then you know that spine sits inside there. That spine's going to be rotated or twisted along with your posture. So it has to be looked into further with an x-ray. And an x-ray will show us exactly and specifically where that misalignment is and where those nerves are being compressed. And from the side view, our head should be over our shoulder. Our ear should be over our shoulder. Do you see anyone in your community like this or in your family? Computers, backpacks, Game Boys are just destroying our posture this way, where our head is going forward. We're getting a debilitated curve forward in our head, a forward head posture, which is putting massive amount of stress on the muscles and joints and nerves in the neck region and shoulder region, which go down into the hands and cause carpal tunnel. But those nerves also branch out and go to the heart and lungs, which can be an asthma-related condition. And also the immune system, which is your ability to fight through allergies, is controlled through your nerve system. So a healthier nerve system, a healthier immune system. a more damaged nerve system, a more damaged immune system, more vulnerable to allergies and so forth. And that's something I suffered with when I was a teen. I was pretty healthy getting through those first 10, 12, 13 years. And then I started to have stomach problems. I started to have chronic cramping and pain in my lower abdomen, chronic diarrhea anytime I was under stress. And then I started to develop allergies. And then I started getting allergy shots, and I started taking nasal spray, nasal spray, and I would try every different nasal spray because I was becoming addicted to it and immune to it. I took Actifed, Sudafed, I took all those over-the-counter drugs, and nothing was making me better. It was just getting me through the crisis, and that's what drugs do. They don't heal your body, they get you through a crisis. So, and the same is true with when my wife got under care. I said, you know, I need to look into this for myself. I was, just going to chiropractic school when I got there started to make sense that I got to look into the health of my spine. And the imbalances I had, they fixed, they started correcting. I stayed under care, and now it's over 20 years later, I have no allergies, no digestive problems. My wife has no asthma. She hasn't taken a single drug in over 19 years. Over 19 years. So she's aged 19 years, but she's 20 or 30 years healthier. So, and that's what we see with patients all the time is if we examine the spine and the nerve system and it's out of balance, then we do specific adjustments to realign it. And when that pressure comes off the nerve, the organs begin to heal. We had a little boy, his name was Tyler, and he's about 4 years old. He came into our office and had allergies. So his mother was curious, and she heard that chiropractic care can help allergies, so we checked him. And luckily, he didn't have any major problems, but he had an imbalance in the upper part of his neck where he had some rotation there. So I gave him a very specific light adjustment, and I said, that's all. You know, we'll see him another time. And I believe we saw him 2 times, and he went to camp on the weekend. Now, when he goes to camp, he usually has a horrible weekend, and they're on medication all weekend long for allergies because his allergies act up, and that's his camp weekend through the summer. Well, she went to camp and came back, and she said, you'll never believe what happened. She couldn't believe it. It was his first time he went through camp without any allergy reactions. And the other kids there, they go with a couple different families, had the same allergy reactions. So the pollen and the stuff was in the air, the molds, but her son was already beginning to heal after 2 adjustments. That shows the power of the nerve system. And when you're specific and you take pressure off that nerve system, your body immediately starts to heal and immediately starts to function better, fighting itself with allergies and asthma problems. So if you're suffering with that, you know, I would urge you to look into chiropractic care. Look into a chiropractor that's going to examine your posture, examine your spine, take an x-ray, and see if there's imbalances or not, see if there's subluxations or not, and then come up with a game plan to correct it. A couple other things that are beneficial and very helpful on the nutrition end is get rid of your sugars. Reduce your sugars that you're drinking or eating, especially the amount of pop kids are drinking. Sugars just break down the body. Another thing is milk and dairy products. Allergies and asthma, eliminate that for a while. But that's a secondary thing because your primary healing in your body comes through your nerve system. So if you get rid of sugar, but you still have subluxation that's damaging your spinal cord and nerve system, you're not correcting the problem. You're almost masking it or just giving it a little nudge. You have to correct this, and then the body heals itself. I hope that helps out, and I hope that if you have allergies and asthma, you look into this, and you could be one of practically 100% of the patients who have ever come in here, especially with asthma, have all gotten well and gotten off their medication, been able to stabilize it without meds, and without these rash nutritional changes or hundreds of dollars of supplements, we clear out their interference, we show them how to maintain it, keep it that way, and their body heals and stays healthy. Wouldn't you enjoy that? My wife has enjoyed abundant health in the last 20 years, and so have I. I've never been sick, that has caused me to miss work or caused me to miss out on my kids' events. You know, my body maintains itself at a very high level of healing because my nerve system is working right. That's what we do in our office. I hope we can help you. If you want to contact me and I'll find a chiropractor for you in your area. God bless you and have a great day.